Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry. And today I just wanted to, I was just driving back. I had to go and do a little errand here. Just came driving back, and I was driving down the highway here near where I live, and I just remembered something that I thought um, I would mention that, particularly for anybody who's brand new, starting off in the business, how to generate some cash flow, usually pretty easily. Um, Way back when I began 25 years ago, I was in. Um, I'm actually operating in a town called Kelowna, which is a fairly large city. The actual city, I think, is about 100,000 people. In the outlying areas, another 50,000 or more, I guess. But when I first began, I actually started in a smaller town, which is south of Kelowna, which had the general population was around 30,000, probably another maybe 20,000 or so surrounding areas again. And that's where I began. Um, Very much smaller. And one of the things that I did right off the bat was my initial pricing, I did a flat rate price of $15 a room. Now, I'm not recommending you start at $15 a room. That was 25 years ago. But um, what I did is there was quite a lot of Penticton is or was anyway a very much a touristy town, and there's a lot of motels and hotels in Penticton. And so what I did is I went around to a number of the motels and introduced myself, and I got this method that's low moisture. And at the time, I guess Cowndry was around, but they actually came from Kelowna, which is actually an hour drive away, and I was living in Penticton, and my pricing was actually lower than theirs. And anyway, but point is that what I did is I went to the motels and I said I would clean their units for $15 per unit. In most cases, there's only one room. If there was an extra room, maybe I'd add another $10 or $15 um, to the because some were double rooms, I guess. It's been a long time since I did that. But anyway, I could and the thing is that these motels, when they're doing their turnovers and somebody's spilled something on the rug and whatever, I mean, they're so busy with their staff that for the most part, they really don't have the time to get their cleaning people to go in and clean the carpet, even if they have the equipment to do it. And they don't really, and of course, they know that their cleaning staff usually don't know what they're doing anyway. And of course, then when they do clean it with their little portable machine or whatever, it's out of commission for the day for sure. So if you can go in there with a low moisture method and say, hey, I can clean this for, say if you're doing 25 or $30 for a unit, um, and you can do it and the carpet's dry within an hour or two, that's going to be attractive to them. They very well may take you up on your offer of your service. Now, of course, you're going to want to tell them that I've got to do at least, you know, I guess maybe 3 units minimum. You got to have a realistic minimum, otherwise it's not worth your while, and they will understand that. But you can bang them off pretty fast because they usually only are a couple of 300 square feet, and usually um, they are maintaining them well enough that maybe you're dealing with a few spots and spills, and otherwise it's usually pretty well um, maintained. Of course, they're vacuuming them almost every single day, aren't they? Well, they should be anyway. So if you've got motels and hotels in your town, you're a brand new guy. I mean, if you're established and you're doing residential jobs and you're getting, a couple of $300 an invoice, you don't want to really go with this route unless you're wanting to get another vehicle on the road and you're willing to, you've got another guy out there and you're wanting to raise your volume or whatever. But this is a way to increase your volume rather rapidly because if you've got a few motels and hotels in your area, and they like what you're offering as far as fast drying, and if you can say I can include a protector, I'm not going to charge you extra for spot removal. I'll use a deodorizer or ClO2, which is no odor. Whatever you're going to choose to do, you have something that's quite attractive to the motels because they're cheap, absolutely cheap, but they do need the turnaround. They need that room to be back in service and making money for them. They if they lose that room for a day, well, that's not a good thing for them. So you can offer something that the hot water extraction guys can't. Plus, you're not having to run a hose down the down the hallway or whatever. Um, and or if they're we're using a portable, having that machine sitting in the hallway screaming away and annoying the guests. You have a fast drying system that makes virtually no noise, and you can include the deodorizing and everything that they want, and you can be in and out of there really fast. No hoses down the hallways and whatnot, and then if you've got a place where there is hallways, a few stories high, hotel or whatever. Well, you're doing the rooms. Yeah, you're doing them really cheap, but they're going to probably call on you to do the hallways too, and that's where you can certainly make money. Now, you've got to balance that with the real money making, which of course is the high end residential. But I did that for a few years. I don't do that anymore. I can't afford to. I mean, if I wanted to, I could go on and do this kind of work, but I don't have the time. I'm so busy doing my regular residential work. And back when I was doing it at $15 a room, that was when I was using my Clark FM 13. That's a 13-inch rotary. And I remember, I think about it, I remember going in and some of these motels. I mean, I was doing like 5, 10, 15 units at a pop, and I was easily making hundreds of dollars before noon any day that I was doing a motel easily. And a few $100s for a guy just brand new starting out. You don't have much overhead at all. Boy, that's great money. Well, mind you, you got to remember that typically when they call, they want you there pretty fast. But if you're brand new starting out and work is spotty and you're not really having to market to this, then what you do is you go to them and you say, here's my business card, and I do this low moisture method, new cleaning process, or whatever. And if you give me, if you like, I can show you how well it works. I'll do 1 or 2 units for you, no charge. And that's they're always willing to give you a couple of units for no charge, and you go in there and you just bang it out, and then you'll know about how much time it'll take. I would recommend you, if it's any stains or whatever to speak of, you whip over it first with a fiber pad, and then switch over to your Iron Man or your microfiber or whatever you're using, and you can do them pretty darn fast. Usually, you don't have to be too fussy on your. Well, mind you, sometimes you do. I'm just thinking. Anyway, a quick zip with a vacuum, and maybe groom it afterwards with a rake, because a rake or a broom uh, groomer is going to be faster than post vacuuming. You can do them pretty fast. So there's my thought. Especially for the guys that are brand new and wondering how do I get my volume up? How do I get the cash flow happening? Because these things, they're there all the time, especially if they're getting turnover in these rooms, um, and people are spilling stuff and or they're in there making the room smelly, and that's where you want to use the ClO2. And I guess Odor Death from NCAP Store is a ClO2 product. The Just Gone product is a ClO2 product, which is sold by uh, the Pro Cleaners Network. Vital Oxide is a ClO2 product, and of course Beckert sells a ClO2 product. But anyway, and these things will the ClO2 removes odor without adding an odor, but you can just use a generic odor side. It works well too, and it will leave a bit of an odor behind, of course. Anyway, my point is that this is a way that you can generate cash flow without spending money. You don't have to really worry about marketing. Once you get in there, you talk to the manager. You say, hey, look, I've got this system. I'd like to show you how it works. Give me a couple of your rooms. I'll do them for no charge. And this will give you an idea of what we can do. It'll show you how fast they dry. Turnover is really fast. You can get that room back uh, and making you money. Um, Give us a call. And I guarantee you, you will get, these guys will happily give you a room or two to clean for no charge, and hopefully they will like what they see, and they'll call you. Next thing you know, you get the phone call and they got, yeah, I got 5 rooms. Can you do them, day after tomorrow or whatever? And we did this a lot in the beginning. I remember one motel that we did on a regular basis. It was it wasn't a really big one, but the people there were very fussy about keeping this thing meticulous, and we were in there all the time, actually. And actually, way back then, 25 years ago, my wife actually got a job there working in cleaning the rooms for. She did that for a year or two. Uh, she didn't initially work with me. I did everything on my own way back then. She didn't even answer the phone at that time. But you can. There's a way to make money there, guys, and it's not hard to do. So there's my thought. And so if you're brand new in the business, go to those motels, tell them you got something different, show them what you can do, and your phone will ring. I guarantee it. So there you go. Enjoy.